What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we are talking about the 5 reasons that you might lose a listing in today's market. Stand by, you don't want to miss this one. All right, so the second half of 2022 is definitely a different market than real estate agents have been experiencing for the 2 years prior to that. Now, veteran agents and the people that are dedicated to improving their sales skills, you probably don't have much to worry about. But if you are newer and have never experienced this type of market, or you have gotten lazy with your sales skills or slipped in some bad habits, you might find yourself in a position where you are losing out on listings. You're either not getting them signed, or you're getting them signed and they're not selling and the seller's canceling and going with someone else. Here are the 5 reasons why you might lose a listing in today's market. And these are definitely things that you want to avoid. Number 1, you're not educating yourself on what the listing should be priced at. If you are just looking at solds and going back a few months, you could see something that went under contract prior to the market shifting. You could see, a situation where someone just got like an oddball price after the market has shifted. So don't get lazy with your comps. Put the time into researching not only what homes like that have sold for, but what are active listings doing, right? Just because a home sold for a certain price per square foot or certain price 3 months ago, 6 months ago, if you see an active listing that's been on the market for 90 days or 30 days even, you know you're not going to beat that price typically, right? Unless there's something extraordinary about that listing. So look at the actives. Another one is look at the withdrawals and the expireds, right? What price did not work? That's what that piece of information tells you. So look at the withdrawals, look at the expireds, look at the pendings, look at all of the data. If you go into the listing presentation and you misprice it on the high side, you're setting your sellers up for pain, you're setting yourself up for pain, and ultimately you're going to lose the listing. If that happened, you deserve to lose it. Number 2, you are doing the research, you are getting accurate prices, but you are not strong enough in your conversation with the sellers, and or you are not setting the proper expectations. A lot of agents will take a listing or even let the seller dictate a higher price, even if they know it will not sell at that price because they want to get the listing. We used to call this buying the listing, right? You're letting the seller go with a price that's 5, 10%, maybe even more higher than what it'll go for, because you're afraid that some other agent will come in and agree to that price and they're going to choose the person with the highest price. So you need to have the right conversation, set the right expectations in that situation. You need to say, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I realize, your home, you think it's, for example, you think it's going to sell for $500,000. And I know you love your home. I know you think it's the best one on the block, but the data shows, $450,000 is the right price. Now, I know there might be another agent that'll come in and tell you 500, maybe even one will tell you 600, just because they want to get the listing, right? And then they're going to come back to you later on and surprise you with asking for price drops. All right. Tell them up front, 500 is the wrong price. You think it'll sell for 450, and bake if they are insistent, if they are stubborn, right? If they are stubborn about it, remember, ultimately it's 2 decisions, right? Who do they list their home with and what price they list it at, right? They get to control that. So if they want to list with you, but they're insistent on the price, set the expectations up front and bake in what I call automatic price reductions into the listing agreement. Tell them that if after 2 weeks you haven't had 10 showings or an offer, or if you get 10 showings and no offer, right? Whatever you think the criteria should be. It could be different in every market, every situation, but set criteria based on showings and no offer, or time on the market. No more than 2 weeks in most circumstances, where if they don't hit it, there's an automatic price reduction. So in this situation where if they want to go for 500, but you think the right price is 450, give them 2 weeks and then 4 weeks, right? Where it'll go from 500 to 475 and then 450, right? So have the right conversations up front, set the right expectations, and get automatic price reductions baked in to your listing agreement. Number 3, this is the third reason you might lose the listing, and this is that you have not kept up with your marketing skills. You need to get that home in front of where buyers are looking now. That is always shifting. In the past 2 years, a lot of people in a lot of markets could get away with just listing it, putting it in the MLS, having it syndicate automatically, and voila, it sells, right? 15 offers. In most markets, that's not happening anymore. So you need to get good at marketing. You need to have a good email program, follow up with your database. You need to have the right social media and organic promotions. You need to have the right paid promotions. You need to get as many eyeballs on that home as possible. The right promotions, right open houses, all of this, right? You need to have a solid, multi-dimensional marketing plan that covers many, many areas, many, many different marketing channels. The fourth reason you're going to lose listings is you have not elevated your sales skills, right? So marketing is all about how much attention you can get, how many eyeballs you can get on that listing. Sales is how do you actually get prospects interested? How do you overcome objections? How do you move buyers and buyers agents from seeing it and interested to actually writing an offer, getting under contract? Well, are you updating your sales skills? Are you investing daily in improving your sales skills? A lot of people are not. Are you educating yourself on the different rate buy-down programs? A lot of times right now, buyers have a huge objection because of interest rate. Well, rather than lower the price, the seller in some circumstances can give closing costs, which will reduce the buyer's interest rate. There's temporary versions of this. There's a permanent buy-down. So you need to educate yourself financially. All right, you need to talk to lenders. You need to know how to calculate the break-even point. Like how many points, at what level of points does it take to get the rate down so that it'll pay back within 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, right? Base it off the buyer's timelines. You can almost design these rate buy-down programs. So they're a pretty interesting, unique thing that I think most real estate agents, unfortunately, have not put the time into. So make sure you're doing things like that and improving your sales skills. The fifth reason that you are losing the listings, or you could lose a listing, is you do a good job of items 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? You do the research, you set the right comparables, the right pricing, you have the right expectations with the sellers. You got great marketing skills, great sales skills. You're innovative, on the cutting edge of all that, but you still lose it. Why? Well, it's because communication. If you are not constantly communicating to your seller what you are doing on the marketing side and the sales side, they might think you are doing nothing. You could be amazing at marketing, doing all sorts of open houses, promotions, getting buyers from everywhere interested, right? You could do all of that, but if the seller doesn't know that you're doing that, you can still lose the listing because they're going to think that you are doing nothing. So in this market, it is vital that you do all 5 of these things if you want to get listings and actually sell them, right? If you do the research, you set the right expectations, you nail it on the marketing, you nail it on your sales skills, and you communicate all of these things, especially the marketing, to your sellers. If you do all of that, even in a shifting market, you're going to get your listings to move. And right now, that could be what differentiates you from other real estate agents. And by the way, if you get good at this, here's what's going to happen. Other agents aren't. All right, there's going to be a lot of agents out there that don't put the time in. They don't listen to podcasts like this. They don't invest in the time and money into training and improving what they do. And the agents that do that are going to lose listings. And guess what? Now there's a huge opportunity for you. I've been saying for the last several months on this show, and other guests have been saying it as well, that expireds and withdrawals could be one of the greatest opportunities we see for listings to grab market share. So if you nail the 5 things I talked about today, not only are you going to sell more of your listings, but you'll have an opportunity at expireds and withdrawals if you add that to what you are doing. So I know the market is challenging for many of you. I know that some of you maybe have never seen this. Some of you haven't seen this in several years. But just know that if you invest time, if you put in the work, if you improve your sales skills, your marketing skills, you stay sharp, you will not only survive this market, you will thrive in it, right? So there's going to be a big chance for the people that do it right, that put in the work, to gain market share. So thank you for listening to this show. As always, please leave some feedback. Share this episode with other people. Leave us a review on iTunes and help spread the word, because we are on a mission to help as many real estate agents as possible make it through the shifting market. And for those of you who want more coaching from me, more access to some of the cool things I'm doing at eXp Realty, I have a group now of amazing agents in several different states that are growing rapidly, despite what the market is doing. If you want to be a part of that and get access to 2 different coaching programs, to systems that will set you up for attracting agents to your group as well so that you can build recurring revenue, I'd love to talk to you. In fact, I would be honored to talk to you about sponsoring you at eXp Realty. You can text me on my phone at 703, it's my phone, 703-638-4393. Again, text me at 703-638-4393 if you want to talk to me about being sponsored at eXp Realty. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.